What up, Maryam here. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be testing out and reviewing and wear testing the new Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer. So this is a new addition to the Huda Beauty line. I have a bunch of shades here that were sent to me in PR, as well as the Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder. So I'm going to be slapping them onto my face, under my eyes, on top of my spots to see how they conceal, to see how this product performs. And of course, ultimately, I'm going to give you my first impressions verdict after the wear test. It's a lot of talking, Maryam. Let's get right into this video. So yeah, remember to subscribe if you aren't already. Hit that notification bell. Wednesdays and Sundays videos, you know it. And now let's get into this video. Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer. Has she done it again? Let's see. In this PR package, we've got some literature with Huda on it. We've got the Easy Bake powder for setting the concealer, and we've got 3 shades of the concealer. The shades that were sent to me were Sugar Biscuit 3.5N. I believe that's the one that I wear in the Overachiever concealer. I've got the Cookie Dough 4.3N. And I've got the Granola 4.5G. So the G in 4.5, I definitely think might be a little too tan for me, but I'll test them out anyway, just to show you the swatches. So right now I am wearing a super light layer of the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder all over my face. I'm wearing shade 6 so that I can match my body a little bit better than with the shade 4, which was like a little too matching to my mismatched face shade. But I am going to a pool party, so I want to make sure that I am all one color. Who can relate? All right, so let's go over all of the facts about this new product. First of all, I gotta say, the packaging is super cute. It almost reminds me of the Faux Filter foundation, but just like a mini cute version. It's that same mattified, frosted type of bottle, I guess. And it's cool. It just feels very cool. It's like reminiscent of the foundation. It reminds me of it, but it's just like a much smaller, cuter size. All right, we've got a doe foot applicator, a large doe foot applicator, nice and curved. So now this is a $29 product, available online on May 25th, in store on June 13th. So this is actually a luminous matte liquid concealer. Luminous matte, luminous matte. Kind of understand what they mean if I think about it. Matte in the sense that it is not dewy, it is not balmy, it is not greasy, but luminous in the sense that it has some shift, some light reflecting properties. All right, so this is suitable for all skin types, available in 29 shades for all skin tones and undertones. Lightweight formula with insane buildability for customized coverage. Ooh, I like that, insane buildability, cool. Doesn't mask the skin, always enhances your natural beauty, vegan friendly, fragrance free. Oh, fragrance free. Fragrance free! Huda Beauty, this is amazing. I'm saying that because a lot of Huda's products are very, very fragrant. Some people like that, some people don't. For me, it depends on the fragrance. Also, it is water and sweat and transfer proof. So we're gonna be testing all of that out because like I said, I am going to a pool party, though I'm not actually gonna get in the pool. But I'm sure I'll still be sweating and I'm sure I will still be producing oils as I do. So let's test out these shades. We've got the Sugar Biscuit. It looks like a nice neutral medium shade. Definitely feels very, very creamy. Next, we've got the Cookie Dough. Cookie Dough to me looks a little bit lighter actually, and a little bit more neutral. Though Sugar Biscuit is a pinch peachier, but Sugar Biscuit is a 3.5 and Cookie Dough is a 4.3. Let's try the granola. Definitely a little bit more yellow, though they are all very much in the medium range. I'm actually gonna show you a close-up. So that was that. I am thinking I'm gonna go for the Sugar Biscuit still, because Sugar Biscuit has a little bit more of that peachy undertone, and I really like that peachiness for my under eye. I just think it looks pretty, and I just think it's more flattering on me, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna dab just a little bit. I'm gonna just start with a little bit to see how easily blendable it is. Also, we've got a new brush. This is the Face Conceal and Blend Makeup Brush, $25. Okay, so I'm gonna take this brush. Looks like one of those fingertip brushes. And I'm gonna start blending that out. Wow. That was very, very intuitive, very, very easy. Honestly, for a very fresh, everyday face, that was enough for me. This eye on this side, for some reason, is always a little bit more purple or blue underneath. I don't know why. And it's also a little bit more sunken in than this one. This one is like perfectly flat. This one has like a little groove. Okay, that felt very nice and natural and easy to me. I'm gonna add just a little bit more. Perfect shade for me, by the way. Perfect shade for my current skin tone. I'm gonna go back to the Sugar Biscuit. I think this is a nice, natural, slightly brightening shade for every day. Of course, if I wanna go more glam, I can go a little bit lighter. Or if I'm a little bit more tan, this can probably serve as like my glam shade, and then I can go for the Granola 4.5G, which is like more of a golden undertone if I wanna match. But so far, so good. I am seeing just the tiniest amount of settling into my fine lines, the tiniest amount, like a to be expected amount. So I'm gonna add just a smidgy pool more just to see how it builds. And I'm gonna add a little bit to the outer edge. Also, just for the sake of this review, I'm gonna add some to this area here that I always like to pop out because it is an area on me that's a little bit sunken. Like the area around my nostrils are kind of like deeply in there. So I always like to pop it out. Also, I still have these spots on my nose that I want to take care of. So maybe I'll do like a little bit of a brightening, highlighting trick. And same thing between my brows, but just like the tiniest amount because I really don't want it to look too covered. I still want to look very natural for my pool party. All right, I don't really have too many spots to cover up. There's like one here, like a couple here. So I'll let those be. I'm gonna blend out this area first. Oh, really lovely. Very intuitive, not shifting my bomb powder foundation underneath. Just really natural and easy. I'm loving this experience so far. So what I like about this concealer is that it feels like it sets a little bit powdery. And for someone with an oily skin type, this is like an ideal finish. And this is something that I didn't really read in the materials. This is my own observation. I feel like it has this liquid to powder sort of feel. You know how some concealers set to a very solid, almost like plasticky finish? And we love that because, you know, it lasts all day. But in this case, it feels flexible, it feels powdery, it feels like it could still be manipulated, but it's not settling into anything. Really like that. I feel like that was great for this area. Like it definitely did what it needed to do, you know? Okay, let's see if we can do a little bit of a lift right here in the outer corner. And just like that. Let me make sure I blend out those spots. Just gonna tap them out. There was a spot here too. And now let me just blend out that second layer, and then I'm gonna show you a close-up. Okay, definitely brighter than before. I can see the difference between one layer and two layers, but let me show you. All right, here we go. What do we think? Pretty natural, huh? Looks really lovely. Looks amazing here in these areas. I'm impressed. I'm one of those people, my skin is finicky, it takes a lot to impress me. So when I say that I'm impressed at first impression, it's a lot coming from me, you know? Moving on to the setting. So now I've talked about this many times. I'm not a huge fan of the Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder from Huda Beauty, outside of the one shade that for some reason works for me, which is the Cherry Blossom pink one that I've been using a lot. But Banana Bread is the translucent one. It's the one that I would prefer to set my under eye with, especially if I don't want any sort of brightening, especially if I want it to look everyday and natural and just casual, you know? So I guess I'm gonna go for it. So what I am gonna do is actually set one eye with this powder, and then I'm gonna set the other eye with my one size translucent setting powder. Why? Because I already love this powder. This is a powder that really works for me. It's tried and true. I've been using it for over a year. It's one of my top faves. So if I want to test out the integrity of this concealer, I definitely want to try it out with a product that I already know works with many concealers. But of course, I also want to test it out with this powder because it's from Huda Beauty, and generally speaking, concealers and powders from the same brand are formulated to work best together. So I'm gonna follow the instructions. All right, I'm gonna use the Huda powder to set this eye, my more flat eye. I guess my more unproblematic under eye. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, but again, like I said, I have to. But for some reason, this powder, in all the shades outside of the Cherry Blossom, feels a little thick. It feels a little heavy for me. Like in my monitor, this under eye looks good, but in my mirror, Once I added the powder on top, it looks makeup-y. It looks heavier than what it's supposed to. It no longer looks natural. It kind of like loses this very no makeup sort of feel that I was going for, but you know what? It's okay because we're testing makeup, so we're just gonna have to go for it. I'm gonna set this nostril fold. Mine actually creates a wrinkle, so I really have to get in there and jam the powder in there. So that was the banana bread on this eye, and now I'm gonna use the one size translucent on my other eye. I'm gonna use a different brush, making sure there's no creases. Ooh, taking that cat hair out of my eye before it gets in there, ironing out any wrinkles, and here goes nothing. Oddly enough, in my monitor, this eye looks better, but in person, in my mirror, this eye looks better just because the powder looks more natural. It doesn't look powdery, and this side looks more powdery, but it's not a huge difference. I'm like literally nitpicking. Jamming that powder in there. I don't know if you'll be able to tell the difference on camera between these two, but I'm gonna go for it anyway. Here is the eye set with the Huda Beauty banana bread powder, and this is the eye that was set with the one size translucent setting powder. I don't know if you guys can tell a difference, but to me, this eye just looks a little bit more natural. This looks a little bit too powdery. What do you think? The concealing magic was definitely there. I like the formula, and so far, I really like the product. That's just my very first initial application thought, you know, after just having it slapped, after having just slapped it on. Wow, that was like a little bit of a tongue twist. I feel comfortable, I feel confident. I even will go as far as saying that I feel totally comfortable in my skin going to a party where I'll be seen by people wearing a product for the first time that I've never worn before. I really do have high hopes. It's Huda Beauty. I love her products in general. I think this is gonna work out for me, though of course I can never be too certain. So let's cue in that good old time warping music for that wear test, shall we? Hey guys, I am back in the filming studio. Woof, these lights are bright. Just came home from a pool party. It is now about 10 p.m. This faux filter concealer has been on my eyes or on my under eyes for about 10 hours now. This is what it looks like up close. This is the side with the one size translucent powder on top of it. This is the side with the Huda Beauty Easy Bake loose powder on top of it. And this is what they look like compared to each other. All right, so I actually have to like grab a mirror and observe this for myself. I am noticing a pretty drastic difference between the concealer on this eye versus this eye. If you notice, this side of the face or this under eye looks a little bit more settled. The lines underneath the eye look like the makeup has been settled into them versus this eye that looks a little bit more smooth. So that tells me that this Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer definitely works, but it also tells me that this one size translucent setting powder is really that because this absolutely shows no lines. It looks really, really smooth and really good at the end of the day. Not to say that this looks bad by any means, but this side just looks better. Overall, I will say that the concealer has worn really, really well. Better on this eye than on this side. The same on both sides around my nostrils. There's just like a little bit of separation happening on both sides, but overall, it's worn really well. It still looks like it's covering everything. It's not necessarily brightening, but still, it is doing what it needs to do, and it is definitely still on my skin. So with that said, I'm gonna give this a thumbs up. I'm definitely gonna try this again. Probably gonna get my hands on a couple more shades just so I can experiment, just so I can try this as a spot concealer, or maybe perhaps something a little bit brighter if I really want like a glam under eye type of look. So definitely will update you. Stay glued for those faves X fails that should be coming up next in my following video. And now I am going to zoom out. You are going to click on my next couple of videos over here, and I will see you in my next video. Peace out, and I'm out.